Welcome to day 10 on your Balance, Build and Bloom plan. This is a 21-day program designed to build a stronger you, but also to nourish your mind as well as your body. Stick around at the end of this video because there will be a nutrition tip that you can take away and use to help you to live a healthier life. But for now, we're going to work into our day 10 session. We're going to work on the lower body. This is a 20-minute no repeat workout. So we're just going to run through a whole load of exercises. We're going to do some on both sides, some on one side and then the other. And I'm going to show you some adaptations and some variations as we go along as well. So if you're ready, let's get going. So I have a mat with me and I have a set of weights for one of the exercises, but I've got variations for you, so don't worry if you can't get down onto the mat. We're going to start with our first exercise. We're going to bring up the knee and we're going to circle around the ankle. Now, if you need to hold on to something whilst you're doing this exercise, then please do feel free to do that. That's absolutely fine. It could just be a fingertip onto a wall. It could be holding onto the back of that chair if you're using one. Let's change directions of that ankle circle. Well done. So we're holding into our tummy muscles and our core muscles here to keep yourself standing nice and upright. Foot is pushed into the floor as you're circling around with that ankle. Let's change directions again. Well done. And we'll go for one more change of directions in just a second. Let's do that now. Good job. 2, 1, take a little rest. We're going to go to the other side in just a second. So just a little warm up here, just get those ankles mobilized before we get into the session properly. Another 10 seconds until we do that. So yeah, just make sure you've got your mat ready if you're using that, or your raised surface, chair, whatever it is. I use a chair for all the variations in this one, so if you've got a chair, then feel free to use that as well. So here we go, circling round. Well done. Let's change directions. Good job. So tomorrow's session is actually balance and coordination. So this is a really great, let's change. This is a really great little intro to that. We're not going to be holding many balance positions tomorrow, but we'll be using lots of balance and coordination. But back to today, it's all about the lower body. Well done. 4, 3, 2, 1. Amazing work. We're going to bring it out nice and wide for our next exercise, and we're just going to work into a lateral lunge but with a push over. So we're going to work from one side to the other side in a really nice fluid movement, nice and wide with the legs, so wider than shoulders, wider than hips, and you're going to push your bottom back and keep your back straight as you lean over one side and then push over to the other side. Now if it helps, then you can bring up the toes. That gives you a little bit more of a stretch through that inner thigh and into the calf. But if you don't want to do that, but you do want to keep your toes turned out, that can really help if you're having any kind of knee pain, or if this position is quite uncomfortable. Keep your bottom pushed back though. That's what I would say. Just keep the focus into the glutes. Tummy tight, chest is open as you're just pushing over and over one side to the other. Well done. 2, 1, take a rest. So this is a no repeat workout today. We're going to go through a whole load of different exercises. You might find ones that you like, you might find ones that you don't like so much, but that's okay because we're only doing them all once. We're going to do a squat to an ice skater movement now, a little combo that I quite like here. The leg comes behind, the hand drops in front. You're going to squat into the middle and then bring the other leg behind, same hand in front. So the same hand and foot are working as you're squatting down, across, down and across. I'm really focusing on that sitting into that position, pushing the bottom back nice and straight. Now your squat may be up here and that's absolutely fine. So just a little bob into that squat. You may have a really deep squat, okay, or anything in between. Totally up to you. Okay, this is your workout, so you get to choose. Take a rest. Amazing work. We're going to work into a bob and weave next. So another sideways movement. I love sideways movements. It's so important to get that sideways movements in. It's good for foot and ankle strength, and it's really great for knowing where you are in time and space. So imagine you have a bar or a pole here, and we're going to duck underneath come up on the other side, come underneath, and come up onto the other side. Okay, so tummy nice and tight. Every time you come up, powering yourself up with those core muscles, but really using those big bottom muscles, leg muscles, so the backs of the legs here working, okay, as well as the fronts. But you really, as you're pushing backwards, going through those hamstrings, the back of the thigh, the glutes, your back as well, and holding tight into the tummy always as you're coming through and up. Good. 2, 1, take a rest. Amazing. I'm going to grab some weights for this next exercise, but you absolutely don't have to if you don't want to. I'm just going to show you because I like to give as many variations as I can. So we're going to do a split squat here, which is kind of in the lunge family. So you're going to step forwards and step back, and then you're just going to drop down through the hips and come up through the head. So down through the hips and up through the head. Now you may be here, down and up, down and up. As long as you're not leaning forwards, okay, it doesn't really matter. You work through the depth that you have. Okay, you may be all the way down onto the floor and back up again. In that case, that's absolutely brilliant. But I celebrate you if you are here or if you're down onto the mat. It's absolutely fine by me. Whatever works for you. Just working to your level, so important. 3, 2, 1, take a little rest. We're gonna switch sides. Okay, so you've got 20 seconds off while we do that. So get yourself ready. You can step back, step forward into this split squat. It's totally up to you, however you want to get there. But let's get into our position now so we're ready to go as soon as the timer goes. Let's do it. So down and up. Remember, drop through the hips, raise up through the head. And I'm just using a set of 3 kilos here, just to add a little bit of extra resistance, so my body has to work a little harder. I've also got 2 free weights that are trying to get down to the ground, so it gives my core a little something else to think about. I've got to keep myself really strong and straight while I've got 2 completely separate weights trying to do the same thing, trying to get down to the ground. Well done. Down through the hips, up through the head. Amazing. Keep it going and take your rest. Good, so I'm going to put those weights safely away. I don't need those. Again, we're going to get down to the mat for a donkey kick. Now I've showed you at the top of the screen, you've got 2 variations. You've got a standing variation or a variation from a raised surface. But if you're on the mat with me, all 4s, we're going to have our leg bent, knee bent, foot coming up to the ceiling. So push and push. Push that knee. Keep it bent. So what we don't want to end up is having the leg straight. If, of course, you find it really uncomfortable with the knee bent, then you can do it straight. Okay, but in this exercise here, we've got the knee bent and the flat of your foot trying to get that up onto the ceiling. So we're working the glutes here, we're also working the core, and because your body weight bearing, even if you are on your chair in your raised surface, then you are partial body weight bearing there as well. Take a little rest. We're going to switch sides. If you find it's really uncomfortable into your wrists, try the raised surface or try coming up onto fists instead. See if that really helps. Building up that wrist strength does take time. Let's go. Bent knee, foot flat onto the ceiling. That's your visualization. That's where we're trying to get. And you want to keep that leg nice and controlled. So we're not swinging up, down, because otherwise your body starts swinging. We're making sure that we're precise and that those muscles are always working. Nice long neck, tummy is tight. Each time that foot pushes up, you're tightening into your tummy muscles and you are breathing throughout. Keep it going. Well done. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. Amazing work. You're going to come back up to your feet and we're going to do a little bit of a fun exercise. We're going to step back and kick forwards with the other leg. So again, just priming you for tomorrow's session with a bit of coordination here. We're going to stand in the center of your workspace. You're going to step back with one leg. I'm stepping back with my right, and then I'm going to kick forwards with my left. Ready? Step back, kick forwards. Step back and kick forwards. So this is a nice little exercise to get rid of some pent-up aggression or frustration. Anybody that's sort of on your mind that you want to visualize during this exercise, you go for it. Purge those bad vibes. Get them all out now in a safe space. Good. So as you can see here, I've got a pattern with my arms, but if you can't manage to figure out what to do with the arms, don't worry, just let them do what they want to do. This is a leg session, not an arm session. 2, 1, take a rest. We are going to switch sides in just a second. Don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know how you're getting on in this program, this 3-week program. Let me know if you're finding the nutrition tip at the end helpful. If you like the balance of exercises, let's go. Step back, kick forwards. These are all 20-minute sessions or thereabouts, which is something a little bit new for this plan. Often I'll play with the length of the sessions, but this one, it's all 20 minutes because I need to fit that nutrition tip into the end, and I don't want to keep you all day. Keep it going then. Back nice and straight as you step back. And of course, if you're here and here, that's totally fine by me. Just work to your level and your range of movement, okay? That's all you need to think about is you. And take a rest. Good job. Okay, we're going to do some more lateral movement, more sideways movement now. We're going to do some lateral runs. Now, I'm going to use the size of my mat here. Don't panic. I know I said run. You don't have to run if you don't want to. Stand to the edge. You're going to touch down. You don't have to go all the way down. You're just going to touch down, and then we're going to fast foot across, touch down on the other side. Now, you can go really fast if you want to, or you can just step across, touch down, step across, and touch down. You're trying to get as many little steps in as possible onto that mat, as many as you can. Okay, whether you're just walking across, you're using your low impact. You're still working on foot and ankle strength, fast feet. Okay, well done. And if you don't want to drop down, then you're just up here. And take a rest. Amazing work. Well done. Okay, what have we got next? We've got some rainbow kick next. So rainbow kicks, again, you can use your race surface or you can do these standing. I'm going to head down to the mat for these. So into an all fours position, same as before, except for I'm going to stick my leg out this time. We're going to come over and we're going to come over in the other direction, just like you're drawing a big rainbow with your toe. So over and over. Now, again, body weight bearing here. So you're working into your upper body as well as your lower body. Although the focus of this is lower body and core. It's okay if you feel a little out of breath. That's good. We want you to know that your heart and lungs are working. Well done. So just keep breathing through and try and keep your midsection as still as you can. Take a rest. We're going to switch sides. If you need to come up off those wrists, give them a little circle around, push the backs of your hands together, palms together, then you absolutely can. Ready? 2, 1, let's go out to the side and over. Now you can make this a little easier by touching the toe down each time, a little harder by keeping the foot floating. That way you have to bear the weight of your whole leg all of the time. Or you can just give yourself a momentary reprieve by just tap, tap, tap. Up to you. Your workout, your choice, as always. But try and keep those tummy muscles nice and tight. You're not swaying too much. Good job. Amazing. 3, 2, 1. Well done. Take a rest. Back up onto your feet. You have 20 seconds, so do take your time. Don't rush. I don't want you to get dizzy. But we're gonna do a side kick to a single leg crunch next. So we're gonna kick out to the side and then we're gonna crunch down. We're gonna stay on one side and then we're gonna move over to the other side. Okay, ready? Let's go. So kick and crunch, kick and crunch. Now, I'm kicking here. I wanna give a little power. I wanna really mix it up here. So that's why I'm kicking. But if the kick is too much for you, it's too intense, then you can do a side leg raise instead. Okay, so you can raise and crunch instead of kick and crunch. And of course, if you need to hold on to something, then you can just hold on to something and then crunch up here. Okay, one-sided crunch, totally up to you. Find what works for you and put that in to your session. Well done. So just walk it out, okay, get yourself ready. We're gonna go to the other side in just a moment. Just make the adaptations you need to make, work through your level. That is how I know that you're empowered, that you're using the knowledge that you're learning in these sessions to make these workouts work for you. Are you ready to go on the other side? Let's do this. So kicking out and crunch, and kick and crunch. Well done. Crunch, kick and crunch. Good. Well done. Don't be afraid again to use a little bit of aggression here if you need to. Just really work through, make those movements work. Don't just come and sort of just sail through the exercises. If you've carved out the 20 minutes to make this workout yours, then make it yours. Take the time, do it properly, do it justice. Good. 3, 2, 1, and take a rest. Well done. We're gonna do some stepping stars or stepping jacks, or if you want to jump them, you absolutely can. I'm gonna give you both the options so you can do what you'd like to do. If we're gonna step, step, keep the hands in, or bring the arms up to you, or we can jump with the arms, So whatever works for you. We're on the clock now. So if you just wanna keep this purely legs, keep those arms tucked in, then you can. So just nice quick feet over here. Or jump, jump, jump. Good. Or bring the arms in either halfway or all the way up. And the same on the step. You can bring the arms all the way up or just halfway. Good. Amazing work. 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. We're going to stay working on the side and we're going to work with some little quick side steps. Here again, a little bit of balance. You can hop these through. So we're going to step, step, step. So we're going to go onto one foot, then the other foot, then the other foot. If you want to jump, 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 then you can. Ready? Let's go. So step, step, step. Good. So knowing where your foot's going to go each time, talk about that a lot. Talk about that quite a bit, knowing where you are in time and space. It's so important. And the reason it's so important is that when you're out and about, you know where you are in time and space. So you're not going to accidentally slip off a curb if you know that curb's there. Obviously, we've all slipped down a curb. But you're going to be able to know where you are, put your feet where you intend to put them, okay, with purpose, with measure. 2, 1, take a rest. And that is so important for injury prevention. Okay, so I know that with prevention of things, it just kind of feels like, well, it's not going to happen because we've prevented it. But you will never know because you prevented it. So it would always be best to go on prevention rather than cure. For an exercise perspective, we're going to do some skiers. So I want you to sit down and ski. Sit down and ski. And I'm just changing direction here around about 45 degrees to my mat. Okay, so I'm just working on the diagonal. And if you want to jump these through, jump and ski, jump and ski. Okay? If you don't want to sit down into it too much, you can just push your bottom back here, little bend in the knee, hinge at the hips, or you can come all the way down. Okay, give it some power though on the arms. Come on, those arms haven't done an awful lot today. They can manage this one. Sure, we've done a little, but they can manage. And take a rest. Last exercise, coming up. And it's a little cross between some crab walks and some squat side steps, and sit into the middle of your mat. Just sit here with me. Then we're going to step over, step back to the middle, step over, back to the middle, over, back to the middle, over, back to the middle, okay? So again, working with our foot placement. Try and keep in the same spot each time, so to keep your middle section in the middle, okay? Sitting into that little chair position each time. So I'm not in a full squat here, but I'm just keeping that intensity into the glutes, as well as working on that foot placement, sideways into the ankle strength, working into the inner and outer thighs. 2, 1, and take a rest. Amazing work. Hold on to your chair or your raised surface if you need to. We're going to go back similarly to our first exercise. So hold on to something if you need to. You're just going to bring up that foot. Hold on around the laces. Bring the knees together and push the hips forwards. This is our little stretchy cool down. If you need more, I will tag a video at the end of this workout today. A little cool down that you can do if you want a little bit more. But stick around after this because we are talking processed foods. Okay, so everyone's heard of processed foods. But what really are they? Is it okay to have processed foods? Is it okay to have any processed foods? Should you avoid all processed foods? So I'm going to be filling you in on all the information around processed foods, what they are, things to look out for, things that are okay. Nearly there then. And 2, 1, take your rest. Amazing work. Stick around for that little nutrition tip that's coming up next. And tomorrow we've got day 11, balance and coordination. If you like these sessions, please do give me a thumbs up. Please share. And if you want more, you can head over to my website, strengthandbloom.com, where I release 2 sessions a week purely for members. So if you like these and you want more and you've done all the ones on YouTube, you can head over to my website and become a member. See you in a second for that nutrition tip. Otherwise, I shall see you tomorrow. Take care. Today, we're going to be shedding light on processed foods and what they mean for you and your health. So processed foods are those that have been altered from their natural state through processes like cooking, milling, and refining. And while not all processed foods are unhealthy, it's really important to understand which ones to include in our diets and which ones to avoid. Some processed foods can be part of a balanced diet, especially those that undergo minimal processing, things like frozen fruits and vegetables, canned beans, and whole grain bread. They can be really convenient and actually really nutritious choices. But on the other hand, highly processed foods often contain added sugars, unhealthy fats, and high levels of salt. These include sugary snacks, fried foods, and packaged meals with really long ingredient lists full of artificial additives and preservatives. There are some ingredients to look out for, so keep an eye out for trans fats, obviously often listed as partially hydrogenated oils. They can raise bad cholesterol levels and increase the risk of heart disease. Also look out for high levels of added sugars and sodium, which can contribute to weight gain and high blood pressure. By being mindful of the level of processing and reading the food labels carefully, you can make really informed choices that support your health and your well-being. So aim for a diet that is rich in whole, minimally processed foods and limit your intake of highly processed foods to make your diet the best it can be.